It is not how big the penis is or how small the penis is. As Pastor Munene has said in Beridi and Salano, it's all about your mind. And most of the times when you hear most of the women saying that the man has a small penis, it means she has had sex with other men, probably who had bigger penis. And she has a mindset. Women have a mindset of big things.
Okay.
Especially penis. I don't know why we have a liking. We want a small body, we want a small head, we want small legs. But when it comes to penis, we want a big penis. I don't know why. If you have seen those who have been pranked, even on social media, every time a man puts a cucumber and it looks like it's big, women are so much attracted. I don't know why women think that they need a big penis, to give them pleasure. I came to submit to us. It is not how small or how big it is, as they have said. It's an issue of your mind.
It is a beautiful season bringing you the Naked and Not Ashamed show. If you're new on our show, this is a platform where we discuss various topics, things that affect couples directly, either sexually, emotionally, financially. When you are tuned in, you will always get answers and solutions in a way that you cannot get in any other platform. Thank you for always tuning in. We are pleased and blessed to be having you. Dad and Mom, just know I'm always glad to be here.
Thank you.
You are a blessing to me and to my husband. And also my husband on the set. We are charged and bringing you hot topics. Darling, welcome.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much again. It's another day again. We're here to answer your questions. We've been receiving so many questions from our inboxes, from our social media platforms. And we have a question here that I want to read. But before that, let me welcome our parents to say hi. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our viewers, hi. We trust that you are doing well. Pastor Sue and the Hambi here, we love you and we thank God for you. And what a show.
What a show.
You know, this I always look forward for every program every week.
Amen.
Because I know there's something to learn.
Yes.
So this is not an entertainment. It's a platform to empower relationships, to empower families. And that's why it is a very unique show in this in this continent and all over the world.
Amen.
And so we love you, and you are most welcome, my dear.
Yes.
You're well?
I am well. I'm doing very well. And I'm also very happy to be in this show. I trust that your heart is opened and your mind to receive the wisdom that God is going to give us, because it is through wisdom, the Bible says, a house or a family is established, and by understanding it is established. And the Bible says, and by the knowledge, the chambers are filled with the pleasant, things. And so I want to trust that your heart is open to receive the wisdom that God has given us. And as if you put this wisdom into practice, your life can never be the same again. This wisdom has worked for us, and that's why we are sharing, because we know what we are telling you will surely work for your life. And so sit there, relax, and just learn. And I trust that your marriage and your relationship will be better in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Wow. Thank you so much for that heartwarming welcome. I'll go direct to the question so that we can be able to see how we can help each other, because this is where we first learn before even the people who send the questions learn. This is a question from a lady, wife. She's saying that my husband has a small machine and he doesn't know how to use it. We have been married for 5 years with no children, but sitosheki kabisa. I have heard many people say that size doesn't matter. Lies, uongo. It does, at least in my case. I don't want to cheat on my man, but what options do I have? Will I stay like this for the rest of my life? Both of us are 33 years old. Could this also be a reason why we don't have children? Does size affect fertility?
Wow.
Hi, so profound.
What
so profound.
a question.
Oh, yes.
Maybe before Mom comes in, because Mom is coming in as a professional, I think most people are going through similar situation, maybe silently. And I also tend to think that maybe the man has been victimized, or there is how a lady could have behaved that makes the man not want to use it effectively. I'm just thinking, because she's saying he doesn't know how to use it. Because if your ego is crushed, even if you had a bigger one, you didn't use it. I tend to think
I think this before mom comes in.
I love that.
My worry is, who is she comparing with? Meaning, she has ever had a small one somewhere that was working well, or she has experienced a big one somewhere.
Yes.
So I think in this situation, I'm not even thinking about the self of the man, but I may think of her comparing her man's performance with somebody else. Yeah, maybe mom, you can come in and maybe
now
give
mom
us.
can come in.
And probably before maybe even she comes on board, because I'm sure there's a lot of wisdom to learn from this. She said, my man has a small machine. Now, when I'm talking about the machine, I'm thinking about the cars. Yeah.
Man of God, it is the pennies.
Cars of 1.5 engines, others 1.58 cc, others 2.7, others 3 point something, 4 point something. All these are different machines with different capacity.
Wow. I love that.
And I am not sure, and maybe you're going to help us on this, whether the same way the cars have got different CCs, even men also have got different levels of machine.
Wow.
You get it?
Yes.
Because I think we have said there before that when it comes to tua, when it comes to sex,
Yes.
the most important thing, it is not the size per se, it is the mind. It is the brain.
Yeah.
The most important component in love making, it is not how big it is, or how small, tiny it is.
Micro. Yes.
What matters is the brain. If the brain is big, if the mind is big, if there are enough information upstairs, then anything else, it will work for you.
Yes.
But unfortunately, there has been a myth,
Yes.
something which is very long, that the size matters.
Yes.
My dear, does the size matter?
Wait. Dad, you've said something here. Before she blows everything here, you've talked about different cars with different CCs.
Yes.
At the end of the day are we able to reach our destination with those cars? Whether it's V8, whether it's a Vitz, we should be able to reach the destination.
Whether it's a motorbike.
Whether it's a motorbike. So the problem comes in when we are not able to reach the destination. And then number two, you've talked about small, however small it is. What's the SI unit? How small is small? Because there is
small, there is
do we
alarming.
have, okay, ma'am will tell us the minimum that is required to reach there, then you can ask it.
Maybe.
That's where I think now the art of love making comes in.
Yes.
And I'm sure she's going to handle that.
Oh, yes.
The art of love making.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has got nothing to do with the size.
Very true.
Yes, now as mom comes in, mom, you will bring this one also clearly from what we are going to speak about. Do we have men who don't know how to perform?
I think that we have,
Or do you
because
think men should be taught how to go about the
this is one thing that no one will ever teach a man. We will never tell her, now this is how it's done.
Yeah.
We are born, then we come, then you are left to go and do it on your own. Mnaambiwa hata even during premarital counseling, mtajulia mbele. So there are people who have no idea and they don't know how that's best or that's worse. So I think what wafunzwe. So that's why we are here.
So there's a lady who feels like she wants to quit. She is tired.
Yeah.
The machine is too small.
Yes.
So let's talk about the machine.
Wow. Wow. Wow, that's a very valid question. And we truly want to thank the person who has asked that question. Yeah, it is important. That's why this show is very important, to be able to bring the light and highlights of the truth, so that we can walk in marriage and have relationships that are strong.
Indeed.
It is important for us to understand. It is not how big the penis is or how small the penis is. As Pastor Munene has said, and Beridi and Salano, it's all about your mind. And most of the times when you hear most of the women saying that the man has a small penis, it means she has had sex with other men, probably who had bigger penis. And she has a mindset. Women have a mindset of big things.
Okay.
Especially penis. I don't know why we have a liking. We want a small body, we want a small head, we want small legs. But when it comes to penis, we want a big penis. I don't know why. If you have seen those who have been pranked, even on social media, every time a man puts a cucumber and it looks like it's big, women are so much attracted. I don't know why women think that they need a big penis, to give them pleasure. I came to submit to us. It is not how small or how big it is, as they have said. It's an issue of your mind. And as long as a man can have an erection, that penis is well to go. Why? Because of the way God has created the anatomy, the anatomy and the physiology. That is the organs of a woman. The organs of a woman is important for you to understand that the vagina of a woman is only sensitive 2 to 3 inch.
2 to 3 inch. Deep.
So as long as your husband has a penis that is 2 inch, 2 inch and a half, 3 inch, it will function as long as it can erect.
2 inch, my dear.
2 inch to 2,
small.
No, 2 inch to 3.
All right.
As long, and very few men have that. As long as they can erect, it is quite enough. Because even when we are reaching orgasm during foreplay on our clitoris, a man does not use most of the times. Some may use their penis, but they use the hand. How big is the hand? What part of the hand you use? A very small tip.
The tip of the finger.
Thank you. A tip of the finger is what arouses a woman. And God knew that, because God cannot make a mistake when creating a man. Remember, God is the originator of sex. God is the one who gave a man a penis and gave a woman a vagina. So he knows, even when you are coming out from your mother's womb, the penis you have been given, it's enough to do what it was ordained to do, and especially sex. And so it is not the size. It's not the size. The size does not mean that when a man has a small penis, you might have a challenge of getting children. Children don't come out from the size of the penis. Remember, children come from the testes.
You need to say that again.
That
children
don't come from the size of the penis, whether it is big or small. Remember, the seed of a man is not in the penis. Hiyo ni mufereji. It's like a pipe, to pass the seed. The seeds are in the testes.
You are teaching so powerfully.
Wow, thank you so.
The seed are not in the pipe. In the pipe.
In the pipe.
Ni mufereji.
Ni mufereji. The penis ni mufereji.
And maybe, Mamu, from what you're saying, I think you should really echo that, because nowadays most men are going for penis enlargement because of the societal pressure. People just feel like, if I go and enlarge my penis, maybe I'll impress my girl more. But Mama said that it is not a matter of the size, but it's how you use it. Because we even find the pressure, like people are saying Nigerians are a threat to. They don't want any Nigerian people around the society because they feel that they can snatch away the females. It's that notion of that size of the penis. But if you get liberated in the mind, it's all about the mind and what you believe in.
You talked about that it's about the mind. Whose mind? My mind or her mind?
Both. The mind of the woman. The person who is seeing that the penis is small or the vagina is big. Because there are also men who believe that women have a large vagina. So it is not an issue of the person. It's an issue, the person complaining is the one who has another mindset. Because of having maybe watched porn. Those who watch pornography, it really messes up with your mindset completely, because there is a lot of camera tricks, there is a lot of enlargement, you know, all these things. So people tend, they are comparing their partner with what they saw. You can't compare if you don't have something else in your mind.
Exactly.
Comparison comes if you have something else in your mind that you are comparing with. But if the man can be able to erect and can be able to remove the semen and the sperms, because the semen comes from the prostate gland, the sperms comes from the testes, then that, and is able to ejaculate or give a volume that is enough to make sure that it is able to propel and go and fertilize an ovum. The size does not actually matter. What matters is what Pastor Munene said. ART. The art of love making. If a man does not know how to romance the wife, how to touch the most sensitive and erroneous parts, then this woman will never. That's why she's saying she has never enjoyed sex. Because it means that the man does not understand about romance. And that's why it's very important for men to understand the sensitive parts of women, the upper part of the body. Before even you go to the lower part, can you deal with the upper part? You kiss. You touch each other, because during that time when you're touching one another, as long as skin to skin comes into contact, there is a hormone produced by the brain called oxytocin, and this hormone helps you to bond with your partner. That's why before sex, you feel you are really attracted to your husband, and your husband feels very attracted to you, because that hormone is in control. This is the same hormone that is produced when a woman is breastfeeding. When you breastfeed a child, the way the mother and the son or the daughter, they bond, that is the hormone during that touch, during that breastfeeding. That hormone is when it is produced. So it's an issue of having the art of love making and understanding the anatomy of a woman, because one thing that God did, he put the clitoris outside the body, outside completely, so that peradventure, if a man is not able to get an erection for whatsoever reason, maybe he's stressed, he's sick, he can still have pleasure with his wife through using his finger. Not fingers, finger. One is enough. And especially the thumb can do a good work, and not really putting a lot of pressure. No, just touching it gently. Because remember, the penis is a boneless organ. The vagina is also a boneless organ. So I want to talk to my sister, my daughter, or whoever has asked that question, to tell you that really the size does not really matter. Much more as there is a myth that the size matters. You see, a myth is a hidden lie in the mind of a person that is believed to be the truth, but it is not the truth. So I want to let you know that it is possible if you understand the art of love making. And that's why you need to be coming for our seminars. That's why you need to come for our conferences. That's why you need to have our books, so that you can understand the art of love making. And from there you are able to enjoy sex just like any other woman. So having a small penis does not mean that that man is infertile. No. As long as he can erect, he's well to go. Okay. And then if they have a problem with infertility, as they are saying that now this is their 5th year, and they need to see a medical doctor, so that now both of them can be checked. How is the sperms, the sperms of this man? Do they have a head? Do they have a tail? How are they traveling? You know, he also needs to be checked. Even the woman, are the ovaries okay? Are the hormones balancing? You can't really say the reason why you don't have a child is because of the man. It could also be you have the challenge yourself. So it's good to see a medical doctor instead of staying in suspicion, waiting for a child month after month. It's good for you to see a medical doctor. And if you don't have one, our number is down there on the screen. We are able to connect you with very qualified people and experienced people, and they're going to help you to be able to have a powerful sex. Alternatively, you can book us for counseling, and we are able to teach you the art of love making together with Pastor Munene, and teach you how to do it and have pleasure in your marriage. So there is hope.
Wow. There is hope. Just before probably we come out of that.
Yes.
Now there's this now part of already feeling that this man has got a small penis.
Yes.
So in the real sense, the problem is even the ready who has that mindset.
Yes.
There's also another case whereby some ladies they feel kwamba they are not okay.
Their vagina is large.
Yes.
That's a good one. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. Now, what is your take on that?
Yes.
Both professionally and any other advice that you can give on that also.
Wow.
Yeah.
Medically, there is no woman with a large vagina. There's nothing like that. The vagina enlarges depending with what is getting in or what is coming out. That's why the same vagina will get in a penis that is less than 500 grams. Less than
500 grams.
And the same vagina can be able to produce a baby who is 4 kgs. Or 4.5.
I've heard of 6.
Or 5, even 6 kgs. I was also born 5 kgs.
Wow.
So the
same
route.
The same route.
The same canal.
Wow.
And so all what a woman needs to know, as long as you deliver, by the 60th week, the 6th week, the natural way of a woman, everything returns back to its former state. The uterus that had enlarged and could be able to keep the placenta, could be able to keep the amniotic fluid, could be able to keep this baby who is over 4 kgs, it is able to shrink and come back to its normal. And the uterus of a woman is the size of your fist. Every woman, your uterus is the size of your fist, equally with your stomach. Your stomach is also the fist of your hand. It's only that it has erectile muscles that can be able to expand. So the vagina, after 6 weeks after delivery, whether through CS or through normal delivery, your uterus, your vagina, your cervix, everything returns back to normal. And so from there, what you need to do as a woman is just to practice Kegel's exercise. When you go to pee, to urinate, you make sure that you don't urinate you hold as you release, you hold and then you release, you hold, you release until you finish to urinate. And then practice these things even when you are seated. The way I'm seated, I'm still practicing them. You squeeze in 3 seconds, you release. You squeeze in 3 seconds. Every man can practice that. 1, 2, 3, and then you release. 1, 2, 3. That PC muscle, when it is tight, you go back again to your former state. So there's no woman who has a big vagina. Alternatively, there are women who say that they are having flatulence, ni kama ananyamba kupitia kwa vagina. I don't know whether women have heard that, and they know. Amesikia kama amenyamba, lakini it is not from the anus, it's like from the vagina. Sometimes air can be trapped inside the vagina.
Oh, really?
Air can be trapped inside the vagina. So when it's coming out, it will come out like a flatulence, but it is not, or you are farting, but it is normal for a woman. So that one should not worry you. You shouldn't think that you have a problem. If you have any problem with that, just practice that Kegel's exercise, and it should be both practiced by men and women, so that now their muscles are also tight. You tighten your muscle. You squeeze in. Why men? Because also a man needs to practice that to make sure that he's able to be in control of ejaculation. Any man who does not practice also Kegel's exercise is a premature ejaculator.
Oh.
Yeah, so how do you do it? When you go to the urinal, when you go to the toilet to pee, you release the urine, unakata. You release again, unakata. Mpaka umalize kupee. If you only go to the toilet and do po, you will find when you go to the vagina, you also do po. You're not able to hold more than 2-3 minutes, you are done. Why? We have said the biggest sex organ is the mind.
Yeah.
So when the mind is able to hold, that is able to communicate the same information to your penis and to your vagina. So pastor is a myth. It's also a myth that women have a big vagina. No. Women can be able to make sure that their vagina is tight and you have the pleasure of sex equally, just like you'd have also sexual pleasure from your clitoris. So it's actually a myth.
Wow.
Oh yes.
Wow.
I had a question.
Yes.
I wanted just to what you've talked about. One, you've talked about the size not having an issue.
Yes.
Ukasema that's just a tap ni mfereji tu. Maybe this lady could be thinking that maybe if it was long, it will have deposited these sperms very far to enable them to reach the worm very faster. Then this is too small, inaziachia mbali. So ndio zianza safari ya kusimu zikienda huko, it affects. So do you think That could also affect maybe if the man cannot deposit sperms maybe just at the entrance. Maybe it deposits only at the entrance. So zinakuwa na time kuswim mpaka zifike. But if it was long enough,
yes,
he would have pushed them a longer distance.
Wonderful. That's a very good question, Salano. I want to say this. A man ejaculates over 500 million sperms in one ejaculation. And so what happens, so what happens now, so if you don't have sex with your wife, you know, it means you are a billionaire carrying sperms within you. We have so many billionaires in form of sperms in men because they are not releasing that to their wives.
Is there a negative effect towards that?
I think it's important to release them if you are in marriage. But when you're not in marriage, let's say for example you are a youth, you're not married, the body is able to recycle them back. You get that. But if you're married, release them to your wife. So this, what happens, only one sperm is supposed to fertilize the ovum. Only one sperm. So what do? The others do harambe. It's like they push, they give, they help, they propel the one that is meant to go and fertilize the ovum. It's like they give that push, morale. That's why we have even had girls who conceived, and there was no penetration. They were only ovulating. They were only ovulating. The man just spilled his sperms just around the thighs, and the girl conceived. We've had that. So the size does not matter.
In the swimming pool?
Yes. Oh yes, it happens.
Yeah.
As long as a woman is ovulating. Yes. Even there's another case we were handling of a daughter who was ovulating, and the father first of all went to the bathroom and showered, and then he had just had sex with the mother. So he wiped himself with a towel. Then he left the towel in the bathroom. Then the daughter woke up to go to school. A very young girl, I think she was 13 years, went and showered, and she forgot the towel. So she took the towel of the dad, who had just come out from showering, and they had just had sex with the mother, and wiped herself. Unfortunately, where she wiped herself, it is where the sperms of the father had poured. And the girl conceived, and she was a virgin. And they were wondering how. It's when now they started recalling there's something that ever happened, because the girl didn't know anything to do with sex.
My God.
So it's not an issue of the size, my dear sister.
So that's knocked out.
No, that's a myth. Yeah, sperms have a way. Remember, when you are releasing sperms, there is the prostate gland that releases semen, and semen is very rich in protein and very rich in energy. That's what gives energy to the sperms to swim until they reach the ovum.
Yeah,
you get the point. And only one sperm will get in, and when it gets in, the rest just respect that, and they all die and come out. You're getting that. So it is a small penis does not mean that you cannot have children. In fact, if you have a challenge with the children, the problem could be the amount of the sperms that the man is producing. Either they are less, others are dying, or there is infection with the sperms. There must be something that is making the sperms to die. Otherwise, the size does not matter.
Okay.
Oh yes, yes.
That is it's really over, because I was also thinking maybe that length is what is going in. So I think that's very educative.
Yes.
As we said, it's us learning first before them. Another thing you talked about, that before sex, before even you wait for that penis to come in, we can just talk about romance and talk about the upper part of the body.
Yes.
And in another episode, you talked about ladies having 7 sensitive parts, and boys having 6.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe you can tell us, are they the same? Because not every woman. Her sensitive part may not be your sensitive part. Like maybe I talk about the neck. You may touch her neck and or you touch the neck and she's like, yes, go ahead. So are they the same?